Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright. The sun will shine by day and all the stars at night. Mele Kalikimaka is a wise way to say Merry Christmas to you. As you can see, I have migrated from Napa Valley to Maui, one of my favorite places on earth. And I decided that it would, given all the things that are going on in the world, it would be a great place to spend the better part of the winter for a while. And so I'm here in a very familiar place. If you've read Perfectly Paired, you know that I spent significant time here in Maui with Justin and with my family. So here we are at Christmas time, and I'm going to be sharing with you some of Hawaii's very special Christmas traditions. So come along with me and we'll see what we can find out there. On the mainland, Santa is wearing a warm furry suit, but in Hawaii, Santa wears a swimsuit and an aloha shirt, or in this case, an aloha jacket. And instead of riding on a sleigh, he is riding on an outrigger canoe. In this rendition, he's being accompanied by a couple hula dancers, and the canoe is carrying all of his gifts. I've also seen Santa depicted as riding a surfboard with a big sack of gifts slung across his back. Now, instead of reindeer pulling the sleigh or the canoe, in this case, it is dolphins who are pulling Santa along. So this is Hawaii's version of the whimsical, fanciful, magical story of Santa Claus. I've just arrived at Cindy and Dickie Moon's home up on the hills above Napili on Maui. And they're going to share with me some of their Christmas traditions. One of the primary ones that we're going to be looking at is every year they harvest macadamia nuts from their trees and dry them and roast them in a particular way that end up tasting marvelous, and share them with their friends. So come with me into Cindy's home.
He was a horticulturist and he worked for what eventually became Maui Land and Pineapple. And the trees that he had left over, he brought down to this property. And so we are the lucky beneficiary of about 30 of his trees. They're 60 plus years old, still dropping beautiful nuts. Bonnie was just picking up a nut that was, the husk had started to open up. And I said, no, I don't pick those because I don't want there to be any opportunity for any bacteria to get into the nut meat. And so if you are picking up a nut that is on the ground and it's opened up like this, then because of that little hairline fracture, there is opportunity for something to get in there. So I just let these stay for the pig.
They're tending the soil underneath this young macadamia nut tree. So Dickie, you just emptied your pockets that were full of green nuts. Mm-hmm. And they're gonna, how long are they gonna be there on that drying tray?
Some of them will start opening by tomorrow. And then generally they take about a week to get most of them all open.
Okay, Bonnie, I'm gonna show you that sometimes you'll get a nut that is two perfect halves, and we call them snake eyes.
Right,
And you can make games like checkers or checkers.
But it's brown on both sides. So they're both encased in...
Yes. And it looks like a pregnant nut.
Yeah.
You know, it's about like this.
Uh-huh.
Put it in here. You can actually crack them with a rock, and that's how Caitlin, our daughter, has opened. She's cracked them with rocks for, 32 years.
Your process here with all the different trays. You've got the bigger ones, the smaller ones, and then ones that have been drying for a while. Mm-hmm. And so you keep track of them in that way, and then know when it's time to crack them and then roast them.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Once they end up here, then the next stage is to get them into the oven.
So here we are, me and Cindy Moon. We are about ready to enjoy the finished product. So, Cindy, this looks really delicious.
They're very crunchy. They are slightly salted to bring up a little bit of the sweetness.
Oh, I gotta have some more.
Oh.
Like potato chips, I can't stop eating them. Oh man, they're so good. Thank you, Cindy.
Christmas present.
Most of the homes in Hawaii, as a tropical area, don't have chimneys or fireplaces.
No need.
And so Santa can't enter that way. And so my daughter, Holly, says that, who lived in Manoa for a few years, she said that Santa comes in through the back door, that people leave the back door of their house open, and that Santa very politely, which is a Hawaiian tradition, takes off his slippers, takes off his flip-flops, leaves them at the door, goes inside, and the stockings are right there, not that far from the back door.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I better secure the back door in addition to the fireplace.
Every year I buy a wreath for myself and my close friends from Starcross Community, which is a monastic order in Sonoma County, California. They've been caring for children with AIDS for over 3 decades. And they also now support children in Romania and Uganda. So I love these wreaths and I love supporting this organization. This time I've decorated my wreath for Hawaii. So there's a Santa. He's playing an ukulele. Here's another Santa. He's got a surfboard. And a third, he's got a couple pineapples. Mele Kalikimaka, from me here in Maui to all of you, wherever in the world you are. This is Bonny Meyer, Divine Conversations. See you next time.